Hi guys, it's Ellie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm recommending some easy books to read in English. Note that the language of these books are pretty easy to read if you know English. It shouldn't be a problem for you to read these books without a dictionary, okay? So I understand that if you're a beginner, reading easy books is easier for you because it doesn't take you as much time. And even if you're not a beginner, easy books are always great to read. Note that just because these books are easy doesn't mean that they are not good enough. I have only picked out books that I have liked, and yeah, I hope you like this video as well. The first book that I'll recommend is R.K. Narayan's The English Teacher. I will recommend any book by R.K. Narayan if you are starting with books and you want easy reads and you don't want to pick up Ruskin Bond, because I recommend Ruskin Bond all the time in my videos. So R.K. Narayan is an author who writes brilliantly. Every sentence he writes is easy but beautiful. It's like putting your most complex thoughts into the simplest of words and then weaving a story around it. It's about the life of an English teacher. He has a daughter. He had a wife, but his wife has passed away. So there's a looming sense of sadness, but then also there's growth in this book. This was one of the very first books that I had bought and read from Amazon. So I really like it. It's really close to my heart. Sadly, I have not read all the stories of Malgudi Days yet. But just because the English teacher is so good, I am just a fan of R.K. Narayan. The next book that I'll recommend if you want to read something with a very easy language is this book, 1,000 Splendid Suns. This book is also available on Storytel. So if you want to get it on Storytel as an audiobook, the link will be in the description below to get a free trial. The language of this book is so easy, but the concepts that it has, the pain that it has, the suffering of the people under the Taliban rule that it captures, I can't even put it in words. The next book I'll recommend is a collectible edition of 100 of the world's greatest love letters. If you want to read something romantic, you must pick this book up. Some of the letters, especially the ones towards the beginning, are more difficult in language because they were written like almost 400-500 years ago. But as you come towards the end of this book, the language gets easier. So if you're a beginner, what I suggest is you start reading from the end of this book, the letters from the end of this book. They are much more easier to read, and some of the lines in these letters are so beautiful that if you have a beloved, or if you're trying to woo someone, you can actually write these, and they are really so beautiful lines. So I will read a couple of them. So this is a letter from Vita Sackville West to Virginia Woolf. I'm pretty sure you know about Virginia Woolf if you are acquainted with literature, but if you are not, Virginia Woolf was a prolific writer of English literature. And the sentence is, I'm reduced to a thing that wants Virginia. I'm sure you know Mozart, and this is what Mozart wrote. If only I had a letter from you, everything will be all right. The next is a line by Oscar Wilde sent to Lord Alfred Douglas. I hope you guys know that Oscar Wilde was interested in men, so I hope this does not come as a surprise to you. But the line is, you are the divine thing I want, the thing of grace and beauty. All these lines are brilliant, and the letters are brilliant to read. The letters are short, 1 or 2 pages at most. And yeah, they also have some historical significance, especially the ones that were written 400-500 years ago. The next book is today's sponsored book recommendation, and this book is called The Conspiracy Unknown by Abhishek Babu. I was just blown away by this book. This book captures a lot of elements of literature and combines them to create something that is very new and very different from anything else that I've ever read. So it combines historical fiction, it combines science fiction, it combines fantasy elements, and I'm pretty sure that if you read this book, you will find some element that I have probably not spotted yet. So telling you guys much about this book will take at least 10 minutes. So I won't be able to tell you much about it, but the things that you really need to know about this book is that if you're interested in history, you will love this book. This book is divided into 2 timelines, and the timelines are sort of very important in the plot of this book. It's not like the author did it just because it's cool. No, they impact the plot greatly. If you're interested in books about dystopian societies, if you're interested in books that talk about manipulating the mind, you will be interested in this. One of my favorite things about this book was this element called brain charmers, these people who can control your thoughts and brains. And obviously, since these people are considered dangerous, sort of reminds me of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children once again. So this book actually reminds me of a lot of different books from different genres. So everyone does not like these people, and these people are ordered to be murdered. Obviously, not all of them die, and plot ensues from there. But again, if you're someone who has read a lot about history, you will be able to place a lot of things in history. Even if you are not someone who is interested in history, there's the Mauryan Empire, there is Ragupta Maurya, which is basically sort of a reference to Chandragupta. There are a lot of references in this book. Like, this book is abound in references. I think as a debut author, Abhishek Babu has done a really good job with this book. There's another book that is going to come. I think it's going to be a trilogy. The only thing about this book that you need to keep in mind is that it takes some time to get into this book. So the first 100 pages, I was struggling to like it. But after that, it was like, oh my god, what is happening? And I was totally hooked. This is a very big book. It's like 400 pages. So make sure that you have some patience while reading it, but the language itself is very easy. And yeah, let me know if you plan to grab it. The link to buy this book and all other books are in the description below if you want to check them out. The next book, which has very easy language, and I will actually recommend another book by Sue Townsend as well, and it's called The Diary of Adrian Mole, aged 13 and 3/4. I hope that's what his age was, because I totally keep forgetting the exact age. But it's a book by Sue Townsend, the author. So this book is called The Woman Who Went to Bed for a Year. I have talked about this book previously on my channel as well, and if you have watched that video, you probably know what this book is about. But basically, the title explains itself. There's this woman called Eva, and her children, her twins. She has been like taking care of her twins. I don't think I can handle a kid for even a day, like not even 24 hours. And Eva has been taking care of her twins for years. So finally, when they leave for college, she's like, I'm done, and she just lies in her bed. Isn't that such a good plot? This book is very humorous, and I hope that you guys will like it. The next book that I recommend is My Sister's Keeper by Jodie Picoult. This is a very poignant read. It's a very emotional read, and it's about two sisters basically. One of them was actually born because the older sister needed something like a bone marrow transplant. And if you watch science related stuff, you probably know that only siblings have a similar sort of a bone marrow. So the parents actually gave birth to this daughter to save their older daughter. So what happens is that no matter what the older daughter needs, they take it from the younger daughter's body and give it to her. So the younger sister actually goes and files a petition against her parents. That's what the plot is about. The plot is beautiful. It talks about rights and family. Like, to what extent should you go to, make your family happy? And is it fine to not take a child's consent just because they are your own child? These are some questions that we fight with even in our own society. And I think this book deals with that particular topic beautifully. The next book that I recommend, actually these are two books. And this is actually part of a series. Oops, my books fell down. Okay, this is a part of a series called Forgotten Women. So these books are written by Zin Singh, and they are illustrated books. Currently, I found them at a very, very good discount, so I got 2 of them. I think there are 4 books in the series. I have the writers and the artists, but there are 2 more books now called The Scientists and The Leaders. So whatever you're interested in, be it writing, be it arts, be it in politics, leadership, be it in science, you can get any of these books. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy. These women have been forgotten in history. When you read about science or literature or arts, you mostly read about these men: William Shakespeare, Pablo Picasso, Albert Einstein. But there were so many women who gave significant contributions to their fields as well. But so history sort of erases them. We don't read as much about them as we probably should. That is because history largely was written by men in power, and as much as they could, they avoided women. So these books actually in this series sort of aim at erasing that. These books are very heavy. They are hardcovers and very good in quality. So if you get these books right now around 300, 400, please get them. Most of the times the book prices are around 600, 700. So I was like totally broke to buy them back then. But the moment I saw that the prices dropped to 300 and 350, I got these 2 and I'm so happy I did. I'm reading some of these writers right now, this particular book, and I'm loving it. The language is beautiful. And let me show you the illustrations. These are the illustrations. It's really well illustrated. So even if you're gifting this to someone who likes pictures, or maybe is a child, they will like it. So yeah, I will recommend these 2 books to you if you want to, grab them. The next book that I will recommend for any lover of books that are easy is this book called Ransom Rake's Tales of the Peculiar. If you are acquainted with Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children or any of Ransom Rake's books, you know what peculiars are. Peculiars are peculiar people, okay? They have some talents, they have some powers which normal people don't have, and that's why they are sort of outcasts in the society. I won't recommend it for children under 13. But otherwise, if you are under 13 and you want to read it, I won't stop you either. Like, the next book that I'll recommend is a poetry book by Langleaf. It's a new one and it's called Love Looks Pretty on You. I love Langleaf's poetry. Her poetry is easy and it just touches your heart. So I'll highly recommend this to you. This is available as an ebook on Storytel as well. Storytel does have some ebooks, but like the collection is smaller than the audiobooks definitely. The next book that I'll recommend is this book that has received a lot of critical acclaim, and I was just shocked to see that the language of this book is very simple. And this book is called My Sister, the Serial Killer. The author is Owen Khan Braithwaite. Yes, I hope that I pronounced it right. So it's about two sisters, and one sister is extremely pretty, another sister is not. So the pretty sister always takes away men for herself, and then she sort of kills them. Okay, and the bigger sister doesn't really mind. She actually helps her sister cover these murders after they are done. But when the younger sister is eyeing the guy that the older sister likes, she starts feeling insecure about it, obviously. So that's what the plot is about. Last book that I'll recommend in today's video is this book called The Night Aurelia Fell. Among all these books, this is the book that I did not like that much, but I still want to recommend it because if you're someone who's new to books, if you're looking for easy reads, you might like this one. This is in the psychotic thriller genre. There's this woman, she suddenly gets to know that her daughter has fallen into under a bridge and she is battling for her life right now. People say that it's an accident, but then she finds out signs that her daughter might be abused. She was also 3 months pregnant at that time, and since the mother thinks that her daughter is extremely sensible, she is even more shocked about it and knows that there's something else that is going on that she is probably not aware of, and thus begins the story. The story is told from a lot of perspectives, but I feel like the ending could have been better. Like, everything in this book was great, but the climax, instead of going up, it went down. It was just too simple an ending. But yeah, I hope you like it. If you like the plot, maybe you can read it. So yeah guys, these will be all the recommendations that I had for you today. I hope that you'll pick some of them up. These were the books that I have read in the past few months, and yeah, let me know if you have also read a few of them already. If not, make sure you buy them from the links in the description below. That helps me a lot in keeping posting content on my channel. I'll be back with another video next week. Till then, bye bye.